Hello, Aquarius rising. This is your September forecast, and we'll start with August 27th, even though it's not September. Doesn't matter. Mars moved into Libra. That's your ninth house of truth, philosophy, and belief. It's going to put energy there. Mars is action. Sometimes it's frustration. So you could have challenges to your belief systems. And especially with the South Node there, the South Node is what we're separating from. That's an eclipse point. The eclipses come next month. So Mars being there is going to definitely draw attention to that. And I think philosophy, truth, and belief are, and higher education, basically what your worldview is, comes under a microscope. Now, the full moon in Pisces today is in your second house of finances, okay? So there could be obstacles there. Saturn is there. And this past weekend, the sun opposed Saturn. The sun in your eighth house of investments and shared resources indicates that there is a reworking in that area. Not just the sun, but Mercury retrograde is there as well. Shared resources can encompass a lot of stuff. Your partner's money, grants, loans, inheritance, also your investments, your contracts that you sign, business partnerships. Mercury is rethinking all of that. And the full moon in Pisces in your second house of finances realizes that you're working really hard for financial stability or whatever the case may be, self-worth. The second house is also comfort, but it looks back at Mercury retrograde and goes, what can we do better? Maybe what contracts do we need to sign in the future versus what we have that make us feel disempowered? So that is today. Now, when it comes to Friday, the moon's in Aries. That's your third house of communication and local community and short trips, and it opposes Mars. That could be a little frustrating, but it's very brief and short-lived. Could have something to do with communication. Forgive me, I've done obviously 10 or 11 other 10 of these otherwise, so I'm starting to get tired. Okay, so September 3rd, Venus direct. Now this is a completely different set of things. So all we've gone over so far is the financial stuff, which is Mercury retrograde in your eighth house, full moon in Pisces, and Saturn in your second house. That's the financial axis. Mars in Libra, kind of the abstract spiritual axis and mental axis. But Venus direct in Leo is your seventh house of relationships. So Venus has been retrograde there for a while. You've been reevaluating that area. And you've also been reevaluating the fourth house of home and family, because that's where Jupiter and Uranus are. And on September 3rd, when Venus goes direct in your relationship area, it's square to the moon in your home and family area. Squares are tension. So relationships and home and family have been undergoing a reevaluation and readjustment process. And that keeps happening even through Venus direct. But Venus direct does seem to get things moving again, especially in your relationship area, okay? Now, the whole week of the 4th seems to be pretty good. You're going to have Mercury retrograde things come up because Mercury retrograde is trine Jupiter. So you're talking about eighth house of investments, inheritance, debt, contracts, other people's money, shared resources, right? So if you were going to sell something, that would also be the eighth house. If you were going to give a gift, that would also be the eighth house. So Mercury retrograde is rethinking all of that, getting to the nitty gritty. And it's going to trine Jupiter in your fourth house of home and family. Trines are supportive. So this whole week is supporting both your investments and your home and family. I think that's great. And it's definitely going to get you to the core of what's going on and maybe what you're investing in that's not working, or stuff you're holding on to that you no longer need to hold on to, especially emotionally or even materially speaking. So the 6th is also the Mercury Cazimi trine Jupiter. That's from the same areas, 8th house of shared resources, 4th house home and family. The trine is supportive. It's good, but it is Mercury retrograde, still reevaluating, rethinking, right? The 7th and 8th, Sun trine Jupiter, same areas, but the 8th has Moon square Mars, and that's different. So moon is going to be in Cancer, which is your 6th house of daily life and work. And it's going to square Mars in your 9th house of truth and belief and adventure. So very different areas, right? I have to work or I can go adventure. So what we're doing during this very brief transit is becoming aware of it. And the moon moves really fast. So the 8th, it's not going to be long, but something to note. The 10th through 12th, the moon's in Leo, your 7th house of relationships, lighting up that area. The 14th, the new moon is in Virgo. That is, again, 8th house, shared resources, investments, inheritance, contracts, other people's money, boundaries, empowerment, disempowerment. That's where the new moon is. We're planting seeds. And Mercury is going direct in that area. So things start definitely moving forward. But the best part about this new moon in Virgo is that it's trine supported by Uranus change in your 4th house of home and family. So I don't know if you have a home, Aquarius rising, that you're looking to sell, but this would be a perfect time to do so. Mercury's direct, new moons in Virgo, trying making changes. We're making changes either to our home or with our family and the investments we make. Then the 15th and 16th, the moon's in Libra. Libra is your 9th house of truth and belief. It's going to hit Mars, which is just a brief moment of maybe this is what I believe, this is my truth, or this is what I have to figure out. The 17th, Venus squares Jupiter. Now, Venus is in your 7th house of relationships. Jupiter's in your 4th house of home and family. So this could have to do with family relationships. It is tension, that's a square, but it's two benefics. So I think this is going to answer some questions around this time on the 17th for those two areas. Keep in mind the moon will be in Scorpio, which is your 10th house of career. So that gets thrown in the mix on the 17th and 18th with relationships and home and how they all adjust around each other. The 19th, the sun opposes Neptune. This is financial. Don't lose faith. I mean, this can be confusing. It can be disillusioning, and it's financial, okay? But it's the 19th. It's very short-lived. Just rest and trust. The 20th and 21st, the moon's in Sagittarius. That is your 11th house of networking and goals. So that's going to actually square Saturn. There may be a little obstacle on the 20th to goals that you're experiencing, especially based on finances, but it is brief. Then the 23rd is really the next big thing, and that's the moon squaring Mars. The moon will be in Capricorn, which is your 12th house of retreat and reflection, squares Mars to your 9th house of belief and truth. Okay, so definitely like the Holy Spirit, what it tells you versus the Bible, right? So like you can read the Bible, the Holy Spirit is your, who knows, a message, right? And I use that imagery because that's the best way to describe the 12th house and the 9th house and how they're square. And that comes up on the 23rd. Also, it's the equinox. The sun moves into your 9th house of truth and belief. The 24th, the moon's in Aquarius. That's your 1st house of identity. It's going to be activating Venus in your 7th house of relationships. So definitely could be a little bit of a frustrating time. Not so bad, but it's just something to note, the 24th and 25th. The 26th and 27th is the moon in Pisces, 2nd house of finances. The 26th, it will meet Saturn. It can feel like an obstacle. It's very brief. The 28th, Venus squares Uranus. Now, this is relationships to home, family, and emotional security. It's the last square. Uranus has changed, so it could be unexpected. There's a reason I have the chain link here on the 28th. That's because when a chain breaks, it's either on purpose or it's an accident and it's a surprise, which is Uranus. Uranus is things out of left field. It is innovation. It's revolution. It is upheaval, unexpected events. That's in your 4th house of home and family. So some innovation, some change coming through there is in tension with the reevaluation you've done in Leo relationships with what you've wanted to do. So this is the last shift of the Venus retrograde, basically, and the relationships and home and family area. Now, the 29th is the full moon in Aries. It's in an eclipse sign without being an eclipse. So it's a good time to tune into what the themes are. It's your third house of communication, local community, and siblings. And there's something in that full moon that requires you to either listen or take in new information, learn something, or communicate something. It could also be a short trip. All right, Aquarius rising, that's it for me. ecstaticastrology.com to book. And if you would like to leave a comment, if you have a question, please do so. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I will catch you in October for the 2 eclipses we have. All right. Holla.